What is going on, everybody? Another Friday, another MLB slate. Uh, let's get after it, boys. Let me get a promo out for everybody, as I always do to get started. Coming off a pretty solid day on Wednesday with Props.Cash. Cameron Hour HRR hit. Young Ho Lee did not hit. So that's basically a wash up to win one unit. But we had Vinny P home run pregame. That was a banger. So that was a good start to our slate on Wednesday. Did well with Pick the Odds yesterday. And now we're back, as always, for some Props.Cash Friday. Full slate. I haven't looked at the board whatsoever. I'll look at what promos we have for FanDuel and DraftKings, and we'll make slips for that. And we will, of course, have a hell of a time in the process. So give me one more second to get all the promos out. I'm being slow today, boys. I'm sorry. Friday is hitting week after Bet Bash. Not like I was getting too crazy at Bet Bash. But with that being said, still just like a slogging kind of week. But we're feeling good. Football, obviously, right on the horizon. So we're going to, obviously maximize that season for the most that we can. But one more quick promo tweet, and we're good to go. Let's do it, boys. Full slate. I don't know if there's any games going on right this second. We have our, I shouldn't say regular because MLB is very irregular with their Friday Wrigley games, but not 6:40's first game of the slate. We have a full one. I'm going to check out again. FanDuel, DraftKings get the boost, and then we'll talk through the slate and get some winners going for today. FanDuel, let's see. We have 30% profit boost, any sport, any bet type, every Friday. So that is something we're definitely going to use, probably on a home run, but maybe a 2-leg plus money parlay, but absolutely plus money for that boost. And let's check out DraftKings, see what promotions we have over here to capitalize, find some good bets, and get after. We'll definitely do another quick run through of some NFL season stuff. Last week on Wednesday, I gave out Bryce Young over TD passes. Bryce Young over TD passes. Drake London over yards, and Genty under yards rushing. So we'll add to that portfolio a little bit. We have a no-sweat home run on Friday for DraftKings. We have a 20% boost on a 3-leg MLB parlay. All right, so we have more than enough to get us going for today. Chalk with the obligatory slips for the night. When I'm on stream, it's my best boy. He's got some 4-leg beauties. This is a 5-legger, actually. Another 4-legger, another 4-legger. Living in the HRR market, which I love because I also do prefer the HRR market to the total base market. We're looking at some hitters. But enough of me chirping away. Going to be writing down everything I bet. Not going to be streaming this weekend, so this is the last stream of the weekend because I streamed Monday instead this week. But I'm done spewing. We have Antonio Senzazella and Braxton Ashcraft getting after it for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Already some EV actually on his strikeouts to Penny, 3.5 minus 140, and the under at Bet Rivers plus 143. Now this isn't deep linked, so we can't click this link and see whether or not that line's still available. I feel like it's probably not still available, considering there's no over being mentioned there at all. So maybe there isn't any EV, but Prize Picks 137. Us, not really much value as a prize pick. I actually didn't see because I looked at some prize pick stuff last stream. I don't have prize picks in my state, so I can't put together a slip, but I do look at some squares that are worth taking a look at. And I didn't even check to see, like, we had, I would have cashed. I'm curious because I would love, of course, trying to make the boys some quick dough. I know I had Senga over 4.5 Ks as one of the slips on Wednesday that I thought was good. Let's see, Senga hit that. No, we only had 4 Ks. All right, so that price pick was chalked. But we'll get some winners today. We have the boost. We know what we want to look for, and we're gonna find it. So Ashcraft Sensazella's on the mound, but it's Pittsburgh. I mean, obviously this guy's food, as you could see. Hits allowed, crazy numbers. Looking to filter away because obviously he plays most of his games at Coors, but still, this is just ridiculous how like shelled he's gotten all year long. I hope it's somehow like I guess it probably even averages out because we got a bunch of 8s and 10, a couple of smaller 4-hit games, but only one 3-hit game on the road, bunch of 8s, a couple 9s and 10. Obviously the Pirates stink, but let's see if they last 15. Brian Reynolds has finally had a little bit of a spurt. He was obviously terrible to start this year. He's been having a horrible year, even though he is like a very, overall like a pretty good player. This season, batting .244. Yeah, that's 13 home runs only. Singles are coming in, doubles are coming in for Brian, but really a disappointing season. Against righties, nobody on Pittsburgh is that guy, obviously, with even O'Neill Cruz on the IL. So it's just like at this point, I don't even want to like predict Senzatella doing anything or Senzatella doing anything good. Honestly, not a game I'm really too interested in. We're gonna see what else we find. Cade Cavalli, Taijuan Walker. The Nationals, of course, just beat the crap out of the Mets and really hurt their I shouldn't say postseason chances, but just really, keeping the Mets honest, for lack of a better way of putting it. New York, obviously, like blowing leads in divisions, and wild card lead is now very small. But the Nationals have been terrible as well. But of course, they are trying to keep some momentum just for the youngsters. We have we'll go to Taijuan here. So we have James Wood, who went yard yesterday. Last 15 games, still striking out a shit ton, but is hitting the ball harder, is making more contact. CJ Abrams has been slowing down a little bit. Luis Garcia, rookie Dalen Lyles doing all right. Bottom of the lineup is disgusting. Walker is obviously very bad. Total for this one is 9, depending where you look. So there's some hitters here because this is definitely like a hitter's game. James Wood, 315. Best price in market is at penny 386. I looked at Wood on stream yesterday with Pick the Odds, and I didn't fire, so it's not even worth mentioning. But I was like, his pricing was so good. There was EV, it would have been worth it, but I ended up passing. But let's go to HRR here. 125. Walker's not a strikeout pitcher whatsoever. He's let's go back to BVP here. He struck out Wood 2 of his 8 ABs, which isn't great. Also a couple of walks there. Abrams also striking down a good amount, but everybody else who's faced him, like Josh Bell and Luis Garcia, barely any strikeouts. We know that Walker is not a K guy. Against righties, Wood pretty high strikeout rate, but let's look at some of the metrics. Right-handed batters are doing much better against Walker than left-handed batters, or it's actually closer to even with adding in switch hitters. Pitch analysis, Walker with that fastball, which is really just a slow pitch, very low whiff rate there. Home runs, let's go by the home runs to see what he's allowed to either side of the plate. Walker doesn't really pitch a ton of innings because he doesn't really make it that far into games, especially when he's walking guys. But yeah, 14 home runs and 392 PA, split mix with very even numbers. So it's really a pick your poison with a pitch mix situation here. Wood's price is just not indicative. I know obviously he went yard, and obviously he can heat up and hit him with the best of them. But with that being said, he's his price shows everything here. Price 225 against Cade. Against righties, Schwarber's obviously hitting tanks. Bryce is only 10 home runs against righties this year. Interesting. Castellanos and Kepler doing a good job there. Last 15, Bryce and Schwarber are cold, but they are hitting it deep when they do make contact. Trey Turner is an impossible out right now. Let's take a look at him. I'm guessing this is going to be 2.5. It is. Okay, I don't really want to bet these 2.5s. Even when there is EV to some of those 2.5s, I feel like it's just like such a tough thing to actually accomplish regardless. Like I know I say that when I bet home runs, but it's very different when you're betting it something at even money versus, plus 550. For something that would cash on one swing This one could obviously take one swing, but one swing might not even get you there, which is always tough, especially like one productive swing, like an RBI single. You're not even there. You still have to rely on a run getting scored or another situation for him to score a run, get an RBI, or get a hit. Schwarber's at 2.5 as well. I don't want to bet any unders here because, again, this game is a high implied total, and I think it could be an over situation with the way both these teams can get hot in nationals. Something that we talk about on stream a lot is like in a lot of sports, especially when it comes to divisional games, like late in the season, like of course, like the Nationals are dead in the water, but if they can make the Phillies' lives difficult, if they can make the Mets' lives difficult, if they can make the Braves' lives difficult, if it was like a closer situation, they're going to do their best to do so. They don't want their division rivals to like succeed. They just got to play hard and steal some games. They're going to do their best to do that. So, a lot of yapping by me, but not a lot of playing at this point. Like I don't even know if anything here is worth it. Of course, we have a full board to break down, so I'm not going to be forcing anything here. Cavalli, just one home run allowed against a righty. Of course, he's barely pitched so far this year. Numbers are very, they're not really indicative of anything because it's such a small sample size for Cavalli. But in the short PA sample size, it's been the right-handed bats who have been getting to him. So Trey Turner, let's look at him for a second. We'll look at total bases. Minus 102. 2+ hits might even be better for Trey, honestly. Recently, racking up the total bases. Holy crap. Last 10, even last 20 is 45% rate. This is, of course, -1 or even money at Fanatics. But look, we're 2 hits. Oh, it's already 140 or 180 at Rivers, 175 at FanDuel. Okay, but I definitely like Trey. He's just absolutely cooking. If Cavalli can't get out right-handed bats, Trey being at the top of this list. Let's do some doubles for Trey. Plus 290. 27 of those bad boys on the season. What's Harper double? 330 at FanDuel. I'm writing that down. Bryce Harper double. We have that parlay boost. I'm going to be adding that to the parlay boost. So I am not betting it. We're stacking up on FanDuel. There's FanDuel parlay and DraftKings parlay boosts. The 330 on FanDuel is a better price here. So I'm going to add that leg, and then we'll find 2 more legs on FanDuel to go with that. Yes, that's what we're going to do because DraftKings is the no sweat. We'll use that on a home run parlay, and then we'll have another DraftKings 3-leg parlay that is I hate the word like safer when it comes to parlays because that's just not even close to true. But we could just take the double boosted by itself. It's any bet profit boost, so it doesn't have to be a parlay. At 340 on FanDuel, I'm saying Harper double is worth a straight bet. We'll keep it in the slip for now, but we might replace that. But that's definitely worth a straight bet. Harper double. It says 330 here, but I'm looking at FanDuel right now. It's 340. So we'll keep that on the table. Maybe we will boost that. We're not going to boost that, but we're going to rip that as a straight. So Harper double plus 340. Betting it as we speak. All right, we're in. Last couple of games hasn't hit a double, but was playing in Seattle, but now we're playing Washington. Weather should be nice. Yeah, weather it's back to very nice out on the East Coast after some tornado stuff was coming through. So let's move on. Boston, New York. Red Sox took a W yesterday. I needed the Gio home run yesterday. The cash is slip that I posted. I took on stream yesterday. It was Gio Devers. Devers did his job. Gio did not, but we have Bayo Fried. Didn't Bayo deal against the Yanks earlier? He did. June 15th, 8 Ks. I bet his under in that one. I was in at Fenway, I should say. Let's look at Fried. He pitched against Boston. Earlier this year, had a 9K game, but that was well before Boston had any self-respect, I guess we could say. They were a very easy team to beat at that point in time. We are a total of 8.5. Fried has not been great recently, if I'm not mistaken. The last 10 K numbers are definitely down. His earned runs are way, way up 4.47. Hits allowed, eights across the board. Damn. Outs down, only 15, only 5 innings of work across the board as well. Not what you want to see from the Yankees ace there, but I was just seeing some EV. What market was that? Hits allowed? Where did I see that? It was K's. DraftKings 120, EV to Penny at 6.5. 101, but I think Caesars is, I mean, DraftKings is probably sharper in home run markets than they get a little bit of credit for. FanDuel as well. I don't know that I would bet this over at 120. I actually think the under at Bovada at 130 is a better bet. Prize Picks though, 5.5 minus 37. If you're a Prize Picks user, that's definitely EV. So writing that down, I can't bet it unfortunately, but Max Fried 6+ K's PP. That's definitely a Prize Pick square worth taking a look at. Let's look at some hitters here. I do want to target Big G again. I know he's just been hot, and it's don't want to just chase the hot hands, but like he's ripping. But if it's this low, then that's not the way we're gonna go about it. That is like a really, really low line. Looking at lineups on Underdog quickly as well. I just saw for the first time the Jets was Chisholm quote from last night on the Yankees 4 errors on Thursday. I feel like we have great infielders on the team. We've got a bunch of Gold Glovers in the infield, but the Yankees infield is tied for the AL lead in errors this season. Buddy's trying to cover his ass after throwing 3 rows up on a tailor-made DP. Digression aside, 250 ESPN, nothing FanDuel 230, nothing a DK showing here. The password making his MLB debut, is that confirmed? I don't know, but it would be cool if it was. Rockies Pirates, only laps I'm seeing confirmed. Didn't end up betting that game at all, but it's worth pointing out that those lineups are alive. Everything else so far is not alive. They have some odds for Garcia because he's up at MGM, Caesars, FanDuel, but not projecting him in the lineup here. Judge 2-1, plus 250 at Rivers, 245 Penny. Let's pull up some BVP here. Judge has not had a good time against Bello. He's walking or he's striking out. No long balls. Belly's got him twice in just 6 PA. I know that Bello does struggle with the lefties. Ben Rice struck out a little bit. Chisholm, not a high strikeout rate, a good walk rate. No isolated power there, a couple of singles. Volpe somehow does well. McMahon, I don't want anything to do with. He's striking out 3 or 4 times. Austin Wells down there. But let's look at some Red Sox. I thought Roman Anthony has BVP. I don't know if he was up for that game. He was not. Bregman seen Fried a little bit. Rafaela, not a lot of success either way. So BVP standpoint, nothing really worth looking at here. Judge plus 250. It's too short. McMahon, we talked about yesterday. Like maybe we, try to hope that he does something good for the Yanks, but no. Isolated power is high against righties. Look at the HRR markets here. Maybe Belly. He's been getting on. Lefties, like we said, against Bello, having their way. Home runs. Yep, more home runs against lefties, though. Still 6 allowed to right-handed bats. Bello, not 561 at Penny, 525. So not worth it for Belly either. Jason Dominguez. 650 MGM, 630 FanDuel, no. Austin Wells, not seeing a ton, boys. That is like really making a lot of sense from the get-go, which is no big deal. We're not forcing here. Right now we only have Bryce Harper double. Ben Rice, I'm interested in as well. FanDuel down to 3-1. Not showing for DraftKings. We have the boost to use. We're not ending stream until we use these boosts, of course, as we always do. Just to confirm, we have any bet boost on FanDuel 30%, 20% 3-leg boost on DraftKings, and a no sweat to use on a home run bet every Friday. We'll do a dinger duo for that. Just not exactly sure on what exactly so far. Let's keep rocking. Let's go to another game. We can always circle back. And again, chat's open, guys. If there's a game or a player you want me to talk about. Houston, Baltimore. McCullers, Cade Povich. No great bats here. Home runs we can look at. Walker went yard yesterday. That 425 at MGM is definitely a good price. Doubt there's any BVP. There's a little bit. Walker 0 for 2 with a K. Pena, Correa, Altuve is all taking him yard in very small sample sizes. Let's see against left-handed pitching who's been cooking. Definitely not Christian Walker, so maybe not. Correa's been doing really well. Let's take a look at him. 531 at Penny, 420 at FanDuel. DraftKings not showing odds on props is really annoying. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know when that happens. If it's just like my feed or what's going on, because normally I used to see DraftKings all the time, of course. Got to compare the market. Oh, Walker is plus 290 for a home run and Correa 370. So thanks, but no thanks, DraftKings, for that today. On the flip side, Gunner's down to 360, 300 at DK. No way, no Gunner. Pitch mix here for Povich, or actually it's against righties who's been cooking. It's been Westberg, it's been Gunner. Jackson Holiday showing good power this year against right-handed pitching. Kid's quietly having a pretty solid season. Samuel Basallo just signed his deal, the rookie catcher. He'll be in the lineup today. Left-handed bat, McCullers. Lefties have been struggling against him. Righties have been having their way. Not a right-handed heavy lineup by any means. It's the exact opposite, actually, for Baltimore. Let's look at on the other side for Povich if he's similar both sides, honestly. Home runs, more home runs per plate appearances to lefties. So, but the Astros can rock that straight right-handed lineup. That's a good point here. Although maybe Jesus Sanchez will end up playing. I doubt it though because he doesn't do so well. What's the spread here, or I should say the money line? I was gonna say if the O's were like dogs here, I probably would have bet the O's. They're actually favorites, which makes sense. I didn't know the pricing, so I haven't looked at this board at all today. But was definitely curious what it was going to look like. But nothing intriguing so far in this one. It's a tough slate. It's a tough slate. All right, looking at some tennis quickly. Lost a couple of tennis plays today. What are you going to do? Let's go back to it. KC Detroit. Ryan Burgett. I don't even know how to pronounce that. And Casey Mize. 3.5 Ks. Minus 170 DK. At Prize Picks 137. That's probably a good price too. So I know they're not a big K lineup, the Rays, but Mize 4+ Ks PP. That's a good Prize Pick square as well. Because you have 170 at DK, 4.5 the market. Yes, juice to the over, but still a good price there. Any BVP here? Vinny P, Salvi. Vinny P's been on one, right? I know I had him 2 days ago. I think he hit another home run yesterday. The odds will tell us quick. 425. Yeah, he's got 4 runs in 4 straight and 6 of his last 10. That's crazy power surge for Vinny P. But the odds aren't great because they're projecting for this. When I was betting Vinny P earlier this week, it was like plus 650. They're now 437. Mize this year, 16 homers allowed, pretty solid between both sides. Righty's getting more of him. Let's back to EVP here. Bobby, no doubles, but 2 dingers and a triple. He sees him so damn well. So let's go to Bobby Witt, and let's do one of my favorite things ever, which is to bet a Bobby Witt Jr. double, plus 270, 290 at FanDuel's best price. I know he has not doubled against Mize yet, but that doesn't matter to me. I know his isolated power is massively high, but expecting some regression there. A triple could easily have been a two-bagger for Witt. On the road, let's see how this is done. 2025 on the road, 23%. So he's definitely doubled more at home this season. Doesn't really scare me off or anything like that. I was just honestly more curious than anything. Doubles in back-to-back games, doubles in his last 10, 3 of his last 10, last 20, only 4, but still he's a double machine. I like a Bobby Witt double, so I'm going to write that down as a play. So we have a Harper double 340, Witt double plus 290. So those are 2 bets that are absolutely worth making. Are Harper and Bobby for 2 bags. They end up going yard. What are you going to do? They go yard, but definitely liking the double there. On the flip side, let's see how the Tigers lineup is done. If they've seen him, maybe they've seen him as an Astro. No, nothing for the BVP side. Overall, pretty good numbers for Berger. I'm definitely butchering that name. Let's see, his Ks 7 and 8. A couple of outlier-ish games. He has some games where it's not checking anybody. 4.5 line though. FanDuel with the -112, best price on the over. The other best price is even money at DK. See, I need like massive away or home splits. He is on the road, so home wouldn't really matter, of course, because he's new to this team. But no, just a couple of the outlier games. Some games with like no strikeouts whatsoever. K numbers for Detroit, not so great recently over against right-handed pitching. Riley Green with some big Ks. Let's check out some Green stuff. Let's go to HRR here. I'm guessing Bobby's 2.5. Yup. Green is 1.5, 118, 115 at DK. If he's not striking out, Torque, let's see, Torque. When he's hitting well, he's hitting well. How's McCall doing? I'm going to actually look at this. I've never really looked at this market. What's McCall walk? I feel like he walks every freaking game. 1-1-2 after a little stretch of not walking. Against right-handed pitching on the year, 8.3% walk rate, which is pretty high, though we don't have like a Yaz 15%. K rate, though, beyond low. Doubles are high. What's the 2-bagger for McCall? 330, but 375 at ESPN bet. With DraftKings as the DVig book. 330 at DK, as we could see. I locked in Bobby, but with that being said, I don't think we'll lock in McCall as well. Let's go back to HRR here. Nothing too spectacular. 120 for Kerry Carpenter, 110 for Winseal. So pretty standard lining across the board. Javi Baez. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. Let's go to let's keep going down the board. Toronto, Milwaukee. Brian Gusto, Shane Bieber making his debut. I actually knew this. Glad that he is finally back. Obviously, not going to see a lot of data there because hasn't pitched. Miami though. Ryan Gusto acquisition from the Astros. 8 Ks against Atlanta. Toronto not a strikeout team at all, which is why it's 4.5, well juiced to the under. Prospects at 3.5. I would not bet that over as a square. I don't think that is a good square at all. So I didn't throw Miami. Let him get his licks in. Any BVP, I doubt it. Yep, no BVP. Who's been hot? Vladdy, of course, is smoking baseballs. See home runs and see where he's been getting hit. Just pick. Let's look at Augustine quickly. We'll switch sides. 575, 560, so nothing there. But let's look at Springer's been hitting tanks. 467 at Penny, though, which is the best in market. Never love to see that for a betting perspective. There he is. Looking for Vladdy. 450 MGM to 400 FanDuel. I'm writing that down. Vladdy home run. A lot of plus money here. We're going to be building out, guys, for a lot of new guys in chat. I appreciate you guys hopping in. We're going to be building out slips for the boosts on FanDuel and DraftKings as we always do on stream. So get ready for that, of course. So far, nothing we love, though I do like Vladdy home run. We're going to put that in the DraftKings boost. We're going to find one more home run to put with Vladdy. Marlins Park, of course, a very good pitcher's park, and Vladdy has not been getting a ton of lift on the ball, as evidenced. We just with Jacob Marcy, who's, of course, cooking. But Vladdy, 425 on FanDuel. I mean, on DraftKings, excuse me. With a no sweat, though, I think that actually probably is a good look. No sweat. Apply to home run bets and receive a wager back. Okay, yeah, it's only one. Or is it one? Because I know they're doing that live boost. You could bet as many as you wanted. No, it's a single-use token. One qualifying bet. Okay. So one leg will be Vladdy home run. I'm looking at the board here. Maybe we could just quickly Michaelis in the okay. Michaelis in a small ass park. I know Tampa Bay is obviously on the wrong way in terms of record, but Brandon Lau, see if there's any like massive BVP here. Yandy, small power. Josh Lowe hit a triple. Michaelis has been allowing his home runs to either side of the plate. It really is just a matchup thing. Is it Caminero? What are his odds? 225, 275 at Rivers. Let's see what it is at DraftKings, but I definitely want to fade Miles Michaelis today if possible. Get a long ball going. Cameron was 200, so it's the odds are not good. I'm not betting that shit, unfortunately. It's just not what I'm doing here. We could look at even like Ohtani against the Padres potentially. Brandon Lau 265 is actually a good price. So yeah. Brandon Lau. We're going to be parlaying. That's Josh Lau. That would be different. Parlaying with the no sweat on DraftKings. Vladimir Guerrero home run, Brandon Lau home run. So lock that in. That is a two-legger locked in on DraftKings. Vladdy home run and Brandon Lau home run. Let's find some stuff for FanDuel and the other boosts for DraftKings, and we'll be on our way. But that's a good start to the day. Putting that play, getting it down. Okay, we are in. Perfect. Vladdy, Brandon Lau. Dodgers, Padres, Ohtani, home run. We're not seeing DK odds on home runs, which is like really kind of bothering me because we have the boost on DK here. For everybody new in chat, what's going on? We have Harper double, Witt double, Vladdy home run / Lau, Brandon Lau home run parlay with no sweat on DraftKings. And then for prize pick legs, Max Fried. 6+ Ks and PC Mize 4+ Ks are both good looks on DraftKings. But Ohtani against, we got Yu Darvish, right? Snell Darvish. 5.5 Ks. Padres not a strikeout team, but Penny 135, DraftKings 110, FanDuel 114. So this is all showing expected value to if you deviate from Penny. Snell, how many pitches did he throw? Threw 96 against them. Only got 3 strikeouts in that matchup. Stream still going. I lost stream on Twitch. I don't know what happened. I'm guessing it's a Twitch error because it's not loading on Twitch. Oh, there we go. We're back. Cool. All right, so maybe not Snell. Darvish, on the other hand, I know the Padres or the Dodgers, I should say, don't have great history against Darvish, but I kind of feel like Darvish is like kind of cooked at this point. 5 Ks against them last time. But I don't know. I think the 4.5. Where are the odds? -30 Fanatics is EV to Penny. DraftKings 135. I kind of like though this +118 at FanDuel, so I'm taking that. Darvish, 4.5 Ks +118 FD. Let me check to make sure that's still around on FanDuel because oftentimes the odds, because they're not real time here, are off. As a matter of fact, let's see, pitcher props, Darvish under is 118, so that is still there, which is nice. So now for this FanDuel boost, we're gonna still look for some home runs. It might be as simple as Ohtani. 190 at FanDuel, boosting that 30% is definitely EV. So we're locking in Ohtani home run for the FanDuel boost. Batter props, home run plus 190, Shohei Ohtani with the boost gets you to plus 248, which is by far the best in market. So that's absolutely a bet there. Shohei Ohtani to hit a home run. So now we just got to build out the DraftKings boost, and we have a bunch of plays. We have some straights, we have some parlays, so we'll be able to have a day. But Ohtani home run, just bet it on FanDuel on my phone because there's always location problems when I'm streaming, which I always let you guys know. But we are absolutely in. Let's find some legs on DK. Let's keep scrolling through the board here. San Francisco, Milwaukee. Quintana, Weisenhurst. Let's look at pitchers here. Nasty Nate versus Slade Session. I know Nate's not been like Kang. Kang obviously is having a amazing season for anybody, paying attention. But this Guardians lineup is not. They're a strikeout heavy order. More against left-handed pitching. Minnesota, Chicago, Zebby Savali. Chicago, LAA. We have nothing populated. Cinnazy, I know we have Littell and Marine Nelson. Athletics, Seattle, Brian Wu, Luis Morales. So Littell, 3.5 Ks. I kind of like the over just from thinking about it. Minus 120. EV to Penny at 156. It's righties. K's numbers go lower, but expecting a lefty stack, which absolutely makes sense here. Contella only 1.5, 145. Is that every book or just one book? No, pretty standard. 1.5 around. Lefties, as you see, are having it's pretty standard actually, going back and forth. Home runs a ton to right-handed bats, and lefties still tagging it pretty well. So let's see who has the most home runs. We can go Corbin, 275. Where are we looking for the odds here? 360 at FanDuel. Let's see, maybe some HRR here. Keep Brian Steer for let's say Herrera. No. Ellie, what's Ellie? 130. Nelson doing well against both sides, but I don't think it's sustainable. Honestly, I think Nelson's kind of been having a little bit of a fluke good season. So let's add Ellie De La Cruz HRR to this DraftKings slip. Minus 135. So this is a little bit delayed on props.cash, but that's one leg. I also was looking at Nolan McLean for the Mets. We didn't talk about him just yet. His strikeouts are over 4.5. He had that 5K game. I think he has really, really good stuff. And the Braves have been a really high strikeout team. I'll look at his pitch mix a little bit more in depth. 8Ks against Seattle, which is, of course, a big strikeout team. Only 2 hits allowed, 4 walks. Braves, let's see against righties if they've been a good walk team. Top of the lineup has been. The rest, Marcel has been good. K numbers are low, but I like McLean. But comparing DraftKings' odds, it's probably not worth it, unfortunately. So actually not going to add him to the slip here. KC Detroit, we were looking at this already. Maybe we add a Bobby double to this slip. Batter props, doubles. Bobby Witt is plus 285. Let's pull that up and compare to the rest of the market, because I think FanDuel was lower. No, it was 290. It was. Yeah, I wrote that down. But with the boost is going to be good. So Bobby Witt double. And we touched upon everything. Ohtani, we looked at. Who did I want to look at as well? It has to be top of mind for me, but I forgot. What about Nick Kurtz? HRR, they've been walking him a ton. Scared of the man. Going against a righty, which is always good for Kurtz. Wu, though, has been really great this season. It's in Seattle, so maybe it's not an athletics spot here. St. Louis TB, I want to go actually here because we know we like Brandon Lau home run. But if we go HRR instead, what can we find for Kamenau's 2.5? Brandon Lau's -135. Is Yandy playing? Did he get hurt? He had a home run yesterday, and I had that, so that was awesome. Giving that on stream yesterday, so make sure you guys tune into stream. We're hitting home run dingers, don't you worry. Miles Michaelis, we could bet the Kamenau home run at that point, or it's 2-1 at DraftKings, so it's not worth it. Yandy's out there showing, but only at BOL. We can look at the flip side with Contreras, no. Lars Nootbaar, 425, 480. What is that? Because I know I do want to target Michaelis, but also Hauser is not like that's anything too good, though he's not hitting a ton of home runs. Bob Seymour. I want to pretend like I know what that is. Maybe it's just the loud home run and we just boost it in here. I mean, we already bet that, so I don't really want to do that. But Kamenau with the boost. This is a 3-leg slip with a Kamenau home run. Ellie hits runs RBIs. Bobby with double. With the boost, it's just 22.93. As much as I want to bet it and I want to be on Kamenau, it's just not worth it. Cleveland, Texas. Let's see. What's another bet that I love for another player I love to bet the double? Mr. Corey Seager, 17 this year to 18 homers. So home run is 225, but double is 300. At DraftKings is 300 as well. I'm taking that. So Corey Seager double against Slade Session. 1K against him. What are we going to do? Corey Seager is over 2 against Slade Session. No way. We can't bet Corey Seager. Now we have a slip. Plus 30.97 with the parlay boost. Lock it in. So Bobby Witt double, Corey Seager double, Ellie over HRR. There we go. Plus 30.97. So we have a bunch of really fun parlays and a couple of straight bets. And that's gonna wrap it up for us today. Very quick stream. Don't have a ton of time, unfortunately, but I'm glad that we're able to lock in everything we need to lock in. I will not be streaming this weekend. I'll be back on Monday. I had to switch things up, like I mentioned the other day. Of course, with football season being on the horizon, I'll be streaming every day, multiple times a day. Actually, as a matter of fact, trying to enjoy the last weekend of summer. Of course, college football week 0, but with NFL coming, of course, busy season is here. So we are kind of taking a little bit, not a little bit easy, but just, calm before these storms. So thank you guys for tuning in. Shout out to props.cash. See you guys next time. And best of luck with your bets today.